In our previous two parts, we discussed the general information about Entrepoly game and then the houses of Entrepoly game. If you are interested, start with these two parts. In this chapter, we will talk about how can be Entrepoly game implemented in education. As I mentioned, there's a handbook also developed after the game. The handbook provides a ready-made solution for implementation. In the handbook, we show that how can a house be connected to a competence, how can a course be connected to a house, and how can educational purposes be connected to houses and evaluation methods. Start with first, house and competence. The house and competence table shows that here's the houses or part of the houses that I've mentioned to you. Find Sam, Nobel Prize, Casino, Stock Exchange, etc. Here's a competence from Entrepreneur framework. This is in the framework. This is not made up by us. Like learning through experience, valuing ideas, financial and economic literacy. And here's a description from the Entrepreneur framework that what does this competence mean. So this table shows that all the houses are directly connected to one competence from Entrepreneur framework. Course and house. We also offer some hints or recommendations that if you are teaching such course, we recommend you to use this house because it fosters this competence. We will also put together a combination of houses. So for management, you can combine these type of houses. And we recommend evaluation methods because evaluation is critical in this game. The teacher gets a notification about the index of the students. This is the basis for the evaluation. So teacher receives the number of gold and the number of ribbons that the students reach. And also the number of attempts and results can be seen. So how many times did the student try it and how many times did he need to succeed. The evaluation is based on the collected amount of money and on the ribbons. The collected money and ribbons have timestamps, so we can see that at what time did they start this, at what time did they collect this ribbon or money. If the teacher gives out a task, let's say on the 10th of March, only the ribbons collected after this date are counted. We also give recommendations about how to evaluate. Like the simple one is the teacher tells that you have to collect 1,000 gold or 500 or 8,000, it doesn't matter, gold or 5 ribbons or 10 ribbons, which means plus 1 grade, or which means plus X points at the course. Or if the teacher is willing to play, he or she can offer that if the students collects more money than the teacher, that means 1 grade or extra points. Or combining it with team activities, that each team member has to reach 500 gold separately. So you have to help each other to reach 500 gold or 5 ribbons. Or the team has to reach all together 1,000, 2,000 or several ribbons. Or ranking inside the classroom based on the collected amount of money, and the 10 or 20 best get a better mark or extra points. So these type of evaluation methods gives recommendations to the teacher how to involve, how to incorporate Entrepoly into their teaching. There are also risks involved in this game. The first one is if the game will be too short, because several such similar games are too short to play. However, because there are separate houses where you can earn or lose money, all of them can be replayed. For example, in Nobel Prize Casino, you can play it over and over and over again for 1 day. You always receive different questions, so it's not boring and it's not too short. If the aim is high enough, for example, collect 1,000 gold, it lasts hours or days. If the aim is shorter, let's say collect 100 gold, you can reach it within a few minutes. So you can probably do it also in the classroom. There's also risk that students just simply play. They don't foster entrepreneurship mindset. That's a typical gamification, serious games problem. That you develop a game with the purpose of teaching. However, those who are playing are simply just playing without using their mind. That's the 4 solutions that we can give to this risk. One is that we use Entrepreneur framework, so it's really well-based about entrepreneurship. We also name the ribbons. It means that you receive a feedback about how you change your mindset or what have you learned from this. That I take risk. If you are, for example, completing the auction house, you get a ribbon which tells you that I take risk, or I cooperate with others, or I plan before I act, or I know finance. Also, the guru at each house, there's a guru that tells you what you have learned after finishing the house. So gives you a feedback that now you have learned that this is a good way of thinking as an entrepreneur, or these are typical mistakes. And all the houses has a motto, like an entrepreneur is always open for new ideas, or your colleagues are your best resource or assets. And these mottos are written in the floor of the house. So it's an ongoing process. We aim to finish it next year, 2020, but we are eager to have feedbacks from our colleagues. Based on the above mentioned facts, we welcome all of these, positive and negatives also. About the specific game or house ideas, and certain basic parameters are given. It's you have to take into consideration. We cannot change the framework that we are working in. It's RPG MV framework is quite flexible, but there are some given things that can't be changed. And the aim of Entrepoly is not curriculum transfer. So it's not the explanation of the road to entrepreneurship or just substituting the teaching. It's self-development, self-skill enhancement, and entertaining the education. Help the educators to get in connection with almost all of their students, to involve and incorporate them. So always give feedback based on this, that we don't want to substitute teaching with this game. And here's the contact for it. Follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, or write an email. Thanks for your attention.